Hey guys, what's cracking? Kobe here. Thank you guys for watching this video. Go smash that like button, subscribe, all that jazz, and comment down below. Alright, today we're going to be talking about the biggest question of 2018 and the biggest question to start out 2019. Is Atlas good? Let's find out. One, a two, a three. I'm sorry, that was so dumb. That was dumb. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, fuck. Let's find out if Atlas really is a good game or if it's a bad game. There's very mixed reviews about this game. Not on Steam, it's not mixed reviews on Steam, it's mostly negative reviews on Steam. But most people have mixed feelings about this game because a lot of people just focus on the fact that the game is basically just a reskin of Ark, which I totally agree with that. I mean, there's even a menu button on the main menu of Atlas that you can click. It's a hidden button. I don't know if it's still there now, but it used to be there, where it would literally pull up the old Ark menu. So this game is literally just a reskin of Ark. The reason it's a reskin of Ark was because they originally wanted to make Atlas just a DLC for Ark. But they added so much stuff into it that they wanted to make it a completely new game. I think they should have done it that way. I think that was a good decision because adding the Pyro stuff into Ark would have changed it a lot. It wouldn't have been as successful as Atlas itself, even though Atlas isn't very successful at this point. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people hate it. But what people go by is the day one release. You can't expect the day one release to be good. I mean, we've seen from Wildcard, we haven't seen from Grape Shot Games, but we've seen from Wildcard in the past that they had a lot of problems when they released the game. That's something that we should have expected, and all the people that bought it day one should not have been surprised that the game was so shitty at that time. It's fixed a lot over the time. You don't rubber band, it's not as laggy anymore. I can run it. I have a 3-year-old computer and I can run it perfectly fine. And I can record the footage. So yeah, go check out the Atlas series. It's not going to be up yet. I'm releasing this the day that I'm recording it. I will be doing an Atlas series in the future. Be sure to look for that. Go check out my Discord. I'll leave everything that you guys need to know about the up and coming series that I'm going to be doing. So go join my Discord. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Anyway, we're really off track here. So yeah, people could not have expected this to go perfectly, and everybody who bought it on day one left it bad reviews because it was so shitty, and they should not have done that. They should have waited. And the other people were pissed about the delays that happened with the game. And I could totally see, like, if No Man's Sky, they announced No Man's Sky like 3 years before the game actually came out. If they had delayed No Man's Sky, like, I understand people getting pissed about that if that happened. I would totally understand that because people have been waiting 3 years for this awesome-ass game. But the trailer, the official trailer for Atlas, came out like a week before the release. So people waited a week, then it got delayed, then they waited another week, and then when the game released, they were happy. Although they weren't really happy because the game was pretty shitty. But they were all pissed about all the delays. And it's like, the game was just announced a week ago. I understand that your hopes are up, because my hopes were also up. Because I thought this game was going to be great. The game just got released 2 weeks ago. So, like, why are you going to judge everything off of the delays of the game, even though you've only known about the game for 2 weeks? Like I said, if the game was announced 3 years ago and it got delayed, I'd totally understand that. I'd be super pissed off. But the game got announced 2 weeks before that, so why are you getting pissed off about it? Because the game was just released. Just announced. And the Steam reviews, some of the stuff that people say does not make sense. Like, this one guy said, he basically said never buy this game in the future. Then he proceeded to say that the game is really good. He really enjoyed playing it. He had like 125 hours in the game. But he said that we can't let Wildcard take advantage of us and take our money like that. Like, if they're gonna fix the game, then they're not taking advantage of us. So why are you telling people not to buy it and never buy it if you think they're taking advantage of us? But the only reason that they're taking advantage of us is because the game's shitty. But if the game gets fixed, then the game's not shitty. I don't know if any of that made sense. It made sense to me. But that's just a dumb way to look at it. Like, they're not... If they end up fixing the game in the future and make it run well, which they have already done, then they're not taking advantage of us because it's a good game. And the only reason... I don't know. You guys should probably already be able to tell which side I'm on from the way that I'm talking about this. I personally love the game. It's a great game. I agree, the first couple days were a little fucked up, and they were not good at all. Like, I would spawn into an island, and just trying to join up with the rest of my clan was, like, impossible, because you'd spawn in totally different areas. If you spawned in a certain area, you couldn't even play the game. It was pretty bad. The point was to make a raft, but there were 30,000 people, not actually 30,000 people on my island, there were like 250 people on the island that I spawned in. By the time I got in, all the trees were gone. So how the hell am I supposed to build a boat and get the hell off this island if there's no trees? That fixed pretty quickly. I mean, once people started to get into the game and started going off on their own island, it became a lot easier to start. And I eventually joined up with my clan, and we got super stacked. I think we're like 4th on the leaderboard right now. So we're doing pretty good. Like I said, I personally love this game. Yes, Atlas is a good game. I'm gonna say you guys should go buy it because they fixed a lot of the problems, and they fixed a lot of the problems in 1 week. Like, alright, you can't really fix problems that you have when 40,000 people are on if 40,000 people aren't on your server. So they kind of had to release it to be able to fix it because they didn't know how it was going to run when 40,000 people were on. So the people that are saying they got scammed because the game was not ready to be released, the only reason it wasn't ready to be released is because there was no way for them to test it out unless they ended up like paying a crap ton of people to do the rest of the game. But even that, like, that would cost them a lot of money that they didn't. Well, I guess they have that kind of money because they released Ark and that's such a popular game. But it still would have costed them a lot of money just to do that, when it would have been easier just to release the game, get everybody's money. That sounded kind of bad, but whatever. Get everybody's money, take everybody's money, then once 40,000 people came onto the servers, then they fix it. Now, yeah, it's going to rub some people the wrong way, but if you look at it that way, that there's no way that they were going to fix it unless a bunch of people started playing the game, then they're not ripping you off. They were just trying to fix their game and figure out what they needed to do to fix it. So yes, guys, go buy the game. It's a reskin of Ark. I will completely agree with that. That's the only bad thing that I've actually agreed with, and I don't even think it's bad because I love Ark. If you like Ark, you will like this game because a lot of it's a similarity. There's a few different differences, like every type of food goes into a certain vitamin. There's 4 different vitamins, vitamin A, B, C, and D. So you basically have to, you can't just, like on Ark you used to just be able to eat a crap ton of raw meat and then get your stomach full and be able to survive. But in this, if you eat too much of one thing, you'll start to die because of a vitamin overdose. So it's a lot harder, but it's a lot more fun in that way. And just the way that the pirate ships move on the water is absolutely beautiful. It's way better than Sea of Thieves. There's actually stuff to do. The base building's great. The taming, I'm not going to get started about the taming. They should have just left it at the Ark taming. That's the only bad thing about it. I mean, they might have fixed it since the last time I played, but I mean, just trying to knock out a horse was the most impossible thing ever, and I think they probably have changed it since then because it was way too hard to frickin' tame anything. I'm sure they've changed it since then. I really hope that they have, but this is 100% a must-buy game of 2019. I know this is going against what most people say about this game, but it's a great game. You can't like you can't focus on week one because if the game's good now, then who gives a fuck about week one? Like, if you can play the game now and have fun, then why do you even care that the release was so bad? Because you don't want the people to be able to get away with scamming us? Is that really why you don't want people to buy the game? It's because you don't want the big companies to scam us, even though the game's fixed at this point. I don't know, that's just my 2 cents, guys. I really hope some of you agree with me. I know I'm going to get some hate in the comments, but it's a good game. Just go buy it. Just test it out for yourself. If not, if you don't like it, if you can't run the game, you can always renew it. Don't do what those guys did and spend 125 hours in the game just to say that you don't like it. Don't be that person. I understand that one of my friends, Etho, basically, he spent 10 hours in the game so he couldn't renew it, but it was just 10 hours of loading into the game, which was because he bought it on day one. That's fixed, so you won't have that problem. You'll actually be able to play 9 hours of the game before renewing it, so you can actually test out what you think about the game. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go smash that like button, subscribe, all that jazz. Comment down below. Subscribe to PewDiePie, unsubscribe from T-Series. That's all I have to say. See you guys next time.